Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel where we post daily videos on cutting edge technologies. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can perform data analysis using the newly released GPT-o1 model. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing that we need to do is to make sure that from the models you have selected the o1 preview. Many benchmarks for the models show the model's intelligence and reasoning improvement. So here I'm going to test out all of this in the data analysis. So in order to achieve this, I'm going to divide the data analysis into multiple parts just like we do in the data science. So I'm going to start with the data exploration and then gradually I'm going to progress towards data modeling. So since data analysis also requires a data set, and in this video we are going to be using this data set, and this data set contains information on the player statistics for the 2023 to 2024 NBA playoffs. You can see that here is the brief information about the data set. If you want to view the summary, you can see that here is a single file. It contains 29 different columns and these are the data types of all of these. So we'll go ahead and download it. And then once the model is downloaded, we are going to use it inside our GPT-o1 to perform data analysis. And once you try uploading the dataset, you will see that the GPT-o1 preview right now does not provide you the option to upload any kinds of file. Then how can we perform data analysis using the GPT-o1? Well, it's really simple. We are simply going to provide it information about our dataset and then ask it to provide us different functions for code for performing different steps of data analysis. And then all of those provided functions will be run on the Google Colab. So here I've created a new Google Colab notebook, inside which I'm going to run all the code which will be generated by the GPT-o1. But firstly, we need to have the dataset uploaded right here. So I'm going to go to the files and I'm going to upload my dataset. The dataset name is NBA Stats All Stats, so I'm going to upload it. Once the file is uploaded, you will see it right here. Next, in order to perform data analysis, we need to have pandas installed. So for that, I'm going to run the command pip install pandas. Once it is successfully installed, now the next thing is to load the dataset from the CSV file inside a data frame. And in order to do that, firstly, I'm going to import the pandas as PD, and that I'm going to use its read CSV function, inside which you have to provide the path of your CSV file. So here I'm going to go to the file. This is my data set. I'm going to copy the path from here and I'm going to paste it inside the read CSV function. Once you run it, you will see that the data set has been loaded inside the data frame. And if you want to verify the loading, you can go ahead and use the head function of the data frame to see the data uploaded inside the data frame. So these are the first 5 rows which are present inside the data frame. Once the dataset is successfully loaded inside the data frame, now the next thing is to perform exploratory data analysis. In exploratory data analysis, we get to know about different aspects of data, different type of null values, the mean, median, and mode for all the different columns, as well as different type of charts. So now I'm gonna head to my GPT-o1, and since here we cannot upload the dataset, so we firstly need to provide it as much information about the dataset as we can. So in order to do that, I'm going to provide it this prompt. Firstly, I'm going to say here is my dataset's header and the first row. This is the header of my dataset, and then I have also provided us the data for the first row. Then I'm providing it that here is my dataset description, and for that I've copied this description from here and pasted it right here inside the prompt. And then after providing it the description, I'm asking it to find the best functions for data exploration regarding this dataset and create a custom function that provides a brief overview. Okay, so I'm asking it to create a custom function that contains different functions for performing the data exploration. Let's see how it responds. So firstly, it is going to show us that it is thinking and understanding our request. So here you can see that it thought for 10 seconds and then within the 10 seconds, it provided us the response that to effectively explore your NBA playoff dataset, you can use several data analysis functions. So in order to perform data viewing and inspection, these are the functions that we can use for descriptive statistics. These are the 3 functions. And similarly, in order to find the data cleaning and missing values, these are the different functions that we can use. And then it is also combined all of these functions inside a custom function for the dataset overview. Here we have all the things ready for us. So all we need to do is to simply copy the code from right here, move to our Colab notebook, and then I'm simply going to paste everything right here inside the cell. So you can see that here inside the function, firstly it is showing us the total number of rows, the missing values in each column, the descriptive statistics. It is asking it to describe the data frame, the top 5 players by points per game, correlation metrics, and then for the visualizations, it is providing us a correlation matrix heat map, distribution of points per game, and the frequency. So let's run it once to see that everything is fine. Now I'm going to call this function. The name of the function is dataset overview, and inside it we have to provide a data frame. So after calling the function, let's run it. Alright, so it has successfully executed. You can see that firstly it has provided us that there are 213 total rows and 29 total columns. Then it has provided us the data type for all the different columns. There are no missing values in each of the columns. If there were any, then it will provide us the number of missing values for each column collectively. Then if I scroll down a little bit, you can see that it is providing us descriptive statistics, which means that it is providing us the count, mean, median, standard deviation, the 25%, 50%, 75%, and the minimum and maximum values for all the 29 columns. Then it is providing us the top 5 players by points per game. So these are the top 5 players and they are in the ascending order of points per games. Then it has provided us the usage rate versus the true shooting percentage for the different players, and it has also provided us a distribution of points per games. So you can clearly see from this graph that only a few games managed to have 30 points in the game. So you can see that just by providing ChatGPT a single prompt, we were able to perform an extensive exploratory data analysis on our data set, that too with 2 different visualizations. So now we are going to move towards our next step of data analysis, which is to perform data visualization. So now I'm going to head back to my GPT-o1, and here once again I have to provide it the prompt to provide us the code that can perform effective data visualization on our data set. So in order to do that, I'm going to provide it the prompt to provide code to create graphs related to this data set, and then I've also provided us that I want multiple graphs on one screen, maybe 5 to 6 together, and all representing the data. So it is a very generic prompt, and using this I am hoping that GPT-o1 will cover all the different aspects of the data and provide us visualization for them. So once I run it, you can see that it is thinking, it is creating multiple graphs, mapping out the graphs, and then after thinking for 17 seconds, it has provided us the code that uses Matplotlib and the Seaborn to perform visualization on the NBA playoff dataset. You can see that even now it is generating the code to perform the data analysis. It has also provided us different types of explanation for the different aspects of the codes, which you can use if you want to get understanding about any part of the code. So now I'm simply going to copy this code from here, head to my notebook, and I'm simply going to paste the code right here. Let's quickly go through the code. Firstly, it is loading the data set. We have already loaded the data, so I'm going to remove that. Then it is ensuring that all numerical columns are correctly typed. Then firstly, it is creating a histogram of points per game. Then it is creating a scatter plot of minutes per games versus points per games. Then it is creating a box plot of points per game by the position. On number 4, it is creating a bar chart of top 10 players by points per games. It is also creating a heat map of correlation metrics and a pie chart of the player positions. So let's go ahead and run this. Okay, so it ran without any errors. Let's scroll down and you can see that it has provided us 6 beautiful graphs representing different aspects of our data. So firstly, it is showing us the distribution of points per games. Then it is providing us a heat map of minutes played versus the points scored, and you can easily see that in which positions most points were played and on what minutes. Then it has provided us a box plot for the points per game by the position, that from which position most points were gained. Then if we scroll down, on number 4 we have a chart showing the top 10 players by points per game. You can easily see that which player is on the top and how many points per game he have. Then we have a correlation matrix heat map, which is showing us different type of information about the data. And then finally we have a distribution of the player positions. So the most players are present on the position G, which is about 39%, and the least number of players are in the position F to G. So you can see that we provided us a very simple and generic prompt in just 2 lines, and on the basis of that prompt, it provided us 6 different charts to perform data visualization, and these charts are covering all the different aspects of our data. And you can always go ahead and save this image for later use too. And then finally, we are going to move towards our last step of data analysis, which is data modeling. By looking at our data set, we can clearly see that the most curious statistic is the points per game. So in order to predict that how much points per game can be generated in the future games, let's go ahead and build a model. But you must be thinking that in order to generate a model to predict the points per games, there will be too many things that you will have to do, right? Well, I'm glad to say that you are wrong. So once again, we are going to use the amazing powers provided by the GPT-o1 to generate the entire code to build a model for predicting the points per game, that too with just a single prompt. So let's go ahead and do it. So I'm going to provide it the prompt that says, using 4 different regression models, build a machine learning model that predicts points per games. I want to see how each model performs with a line graph for each of these models at once. And I've also provided it that I want 4 graphs in a single screen that shows both the actual points per game and the predicted points per game. So I'm asking it to use 4 different regression models, and it is up to the GPT-o1 to use the model which it wants. And I wanted to build a machine learning model on the basis of those regression models to predict the points per games. And then in order to view the result, I wanted to create 4 different line graphs for me for each of different models to show their performance. And the line graph for each model should depict the actual points per game and the predicted points per game. So you can see that apparently it is a very simple prompt, but GPT-o1, using its amazing capabilities, will generate the entire code for us. Using 4 different regression models, it is going to build the machine learning model and will provide us the line graphs to depict the performance of all the 4 models. Alright, so it has started providing us the response. So for the 4 regression models, it is using the linear regression, decision tree regression, random forest regression, and the support vector regression. And then it is training each model, evaluating its performance, and then plotting the line graph showing both the actual points per games and the predicted points per games. So here is the entire code to do that. I'm simply going to copy the code. I'm not going to go inside the code complexities. And I'm simply going to paste the entire code right here. Let's go ahead and run it. Alright, so it ran without any error, which means the code was absolutely correct. Let's scroll down here. You can see that it has provided us some numeric values. And then in order to show these numeric values, it has provided us 4 different line graphs as we asked it to provide us. You can see that firstly we have the graph for the linear regression, and you can clearly see that the actual points per games and the predicted points per games are really close to each other in case of linear regression. Then in case of decision tree regression, for most parts, the predicted points per games are actually very close to the actual point per games, but there are a few points here and there where they have deviated from the actual points per games. Then if we scroll down and see the random forest regression, you can see that in the beginning until the sample index 20, the actual and the predicted points per games are almost the same, but there are 2-3 points where the predicted points per game is slightly deviating from the actual ones. But in case of support vector regressions, there are only a few points where the actual and the predicted points per game is matching, but for most parts, it is deviating from the actual value. And if I head back to the ChatGPT once again, you will see that it only took 21 seconds to perform all of these operations. So you can see that 21 seconds are insanely less in order to use 4 different regression models to predict the point per games and then also plot their performance and compare them with the actual points per games. So I'm highly impressed by the GPT-o1's performance in case of data modeling too. And then if you scroll down, it has provided you an explanation for the code as well. So you can also get some information that what is actually happening inside the code, and you can always go ahead and ask it for any more explanation that you want. And here it is also provided us that how you can interpret the results. These are the model evaluation metrics which you can see, and it is also provided those metrics right here above the graphs as well. And then in addition to providing all of this, it has also provided us an analysis. You can see that I provided it this simple and generic prompt to randomly select 4 different regression models and using them building a machine learning model to predict the points per game. And then within only 21 seconds, it selected the required regression models. It created the machine learning model to predict the points per games for all the regression models. And then it also created a comparison line graph to show how each model performs and how the values are compared to the actual points per games for all the different models. So in this way, you can use this amazing new model provided by the OpenAI to perform data analysis. Even though it does not provide you the option to upload the file, still you can use it to perform data analysis with just a few prompts. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.